The night it happened, Ayla's world stopped spinning. Her phone lit up with one message, simple in appearance, but powerful enough to shatter everything she thought she knew. Confusion gripped her. Her hands trembled as she stared, unwilling to believe the words her eyes refused to accept. Shock followed swiftly, freezing her heart, leaving her unable to speak or move. Every laugh, every whispered dream with Rayan suddenly felt like a lie she had been living. Betrayal cut deeper than she imagined possible. The message was not just words. It was a key that unlocked a truth she was never ready to face. Her mind raced, replaying moments that now seemed suspicious, small cracks she had ignored. And as the room grew colder, memories of happier days flooded back. "This wasn't how our story started," she whispered, the words barely audible. As her mind drifted to the beginning, when love felt pure, simple, and untouchable. Before the message, life felt perfect for Ayla. Her morning started with the warmth of Rayan's smile, soft laughter echoing across the kitchen as they made coffee together. Small gestures, a shared playlist, playful nudges, inside jokes made her feel like she had found a soulmate. Evenings were for dreams, whispered talks about trips they would take, the home they would build, the life they imagined together. Every glance, every touch, every word seemed to promise forever. Slowly, things began to change. Rayan, who had always been warm and open, started acting distant. His laughter became rarer, his smiles tighter, and there was a subtle coldness in the way he looked at her. He grew protective of his phone, glancing nervously whenever Ayla came near, typing quickly, locking the screen too fast. It was small at first, almost easy to dismiss, but Ayla couldn't shake the uneasy feeling settling in her chest. Whenever she tried to ask, he became defensive. Even minor questions about his day were met with irritation or vague answers. And yet Ayla blamed herself. Maybe she was imagining things, maybe she was overthinking. She told herself she loved him, and that should be enough. Late nights became common. "Work," he would say, sometimes leaving the apartment without explanation. Random arguments popped up over trivial things, leaving Ayla exhausted and confused. Then one evening, a message preview flashed on his locked screen, a line that didn't feel like it belonged to her world. Her stomach dropped, suspicion growing heavier. Something was wrong. She couldn't ignore it anymore, but she wasn't ready to face the truth yet. Rayan listened to her like no one else did, making her feel seen, valued, loved. Their routines felt sacred. Weekend walks, quiet dinners, silly debates about nothing important. Ayla trusted him completely without hesitation, believing their love could withstand anything. Yet beneath the smiles and laughter, subtle shadows crept in. Rayan's phone buzzed more than usual, and sometimes he would disappear for work or friends without giving details. There were small inconsistencies in his stories, tiny lies that seemed harmless, almost believable. He forgot errands he had promised to do, misled her about minor plans, brushed off questions with gentle excuses. Ayla noticed these moments, briefly pausing, but quickly convinced herself she was overthinking. Her heart clung to the love they shared, refusing to see the cracks forming. She smiled, laughed, and trusted, unaware that the life she adored was quietly starting to unravel. It happened by accident. Rayan had left his phone on the kitchen counter, screen glowing with notifications. Ayla told herself she wouldn't look, that she didn't need to, but curiosity, that sharp, undeniable pull took over. Her fingers hovered over the screen, heart hammering, until finally she unlocked it. What she saw made the world tilt. Messages filled with laughter, secrets, and promises, none meant for her. Emotional confessions, inside jokes, whispered "I miss yous," all for another woman. And worst of all, Rayan had been pretending he was single, writing as if none of their shared life mattered. Ayla's mind screamed for denial. This can't be real. He must have meant something else. She read again, hoping to find a misinterpretation, some excuse. But every word confirmed her fear. The betrayal was real, deeper than she had imagined. Her chest ached. Tears stung her eyes, and a cold, hollow feeling settled inside. Shock, heartbreak, disbelief, they collided, leaving her numb. Slowly, a painful clarity emerged. She had been lied to, deceived, and the life she trusted so completely was nothing but a fragile illusion. Isla couldn't stop thinking about the messages. She needed to know who this other woman was. A few clicks, a careful search, and the pieces started falling into place. The woman's name, the photos, the places. They all painted a picture Ayla had never imagined. Rayan had been talking to her for months, carefully hiding the truth behind small lies, half-truths, and convenient excuses. Every late-night work trip, every forgotten promise, every unexplained argument now made sense. The stories Rayan told her were not mistakes. They were fabrications, designed to cover the web of betrayal he had spun. Her heart ached as the timeline of lies unfolded in her mind. From innocent-seeming messages months ago to increasingly intimate confessions, Isla could see how deeply he had deceived her. The trust she had placed in him felt like fragile glass, now shattered beyond repair. Every memory she thought was shared honestly between them was tainted by deceit. Yet amidst the heartbreak, a quiet clarity emerged. She now knew the truth, and the full story of Rayan's betrayal lay open before her, clear and undeniable. Isla didn't confront Rayan, not yet. She knew her anger and heartbreak were powerful, but revealing them too soon would give him an advantage. Instead, she smiled, spoke gently, and acted as if nothing had happened. Rayan noticed nothing. He continued with his routine, oblivious to the storm brewing silently beside him. Inside, Ayla's mind was sharp and calculating. Every lie, every hidden message, every suspicious behavior was being stored, examined, and turned into a clear picture of his betrayal. Her emotions, once chaotic and raw, began to settle into quiet strength. Anger and hurt transformed into resolve, a calm determination that nothing could shake. She began documenting everything, screenshots of messages, timestamps, patterns in his excuses and movements. She carefully pieced together a timeline, mapping out every deception and contradiction. Each detail strengthened her plan, making her feel in control for the first time since discovering the truth. Though Rayan believed he was safe, unaware of her growing awareness, Ayla was preparing. Every smile she gave him, every conversation she had, was part of a careful performance. And deep down, she knew the moment to expose him and take her justice was coming. And it would be flawless. Ayla's plan took shape with meticulous precision. Every message, every call, every small lie Rayan had ever told was carefully documented. Screenshots lined up in chronological order, timestamps noted, conversations cataloged. She left nothing to chance. Each piece of evidence was a brick, building the foundation for the moment when the truth would finally be revealed. She confided in one trusted friend, someone who had witnessed the subtle cracks in Rayan's behavior and could offer support. Together, they went over the timeline, discussing the best way to ensure Rayan could not evade responsibility. Ayla's resolve strengthened with each review. This was no longer about pain, it was about justice, about reclaiming control over the life she had been denied. Choosing the perfect day was critical. Ayla knew she needed calm, clarity, and an audience that would see the full weight of Rayan's deception. Her outward composure became her weapon. Every smile, every casual word, every gesture was a mask hiding the storm beneath. Rayan continued to act as if nothing had changed, unaware that the walls around him were quietly closing in. When the moment came, Ayla would strike with precision, leaving no doubt, no escape. The day finally came. Ayla stood calmly, her heart steady, as Rayan sat unaware of the storm about to hit. She didn't shout, she didn't cry, she only reached for her phone and began. One by one, she revealed the messages, the calls, the lies he had carefully hidden. Each screenshot landed like a quiet bomb, shaking the room with the weight of truth. Rayan's face changed. First disbelief, then panic. Excuses tumbled from his lips, weak and desperate. As he tried to deny what was undeniable, he stumbled over lies that no longer held any power. But Ayla didn't falter. She didn't argue, didn't beg, didn't plead. She stayed silent, composed, and fully in control, letting the evidence speak for itself. Friends and family, who had sensed something off but couldn't see clearly, watched in shock as the story unfolded. Every deception, every secret, every hidden betrayal became painfully visible. Rayan's carefully crafted facade crumbled in front of their eyes, and the truth could, for the first time since discovering the messages, Isla felt the faint stirrings of relief. Justice wasn't loud, it was precise, calm, and unstoppable. The truth hit Rayan harder than he ever imagined. The other woman, realizing the extent of his lies and manipulation, left him without a second thought. The carefully spun world he had relied on began collapsing piece by piece. Friends and family, defended or doubted Ayla's quiet suspicions, now turned away from him. His excuses rang hollow, his charm useless against the evidence Ayla had laid bare. Loneliness settled over Rayan like a heavy fog. The person who had claimed to love and trust him completely was gone, and every relationship he thought secure began to fracture. Shame followed, sharp and unrelenting, as he faced the reality of what his deceit had cost him. Meanwhile, Ayla walked away with quiet dignity. Her heart, once shattered, now carried strength born from surviving betrayal. She didn't need to gloat, didn't need revenge in the moment. Her peace and self-respect were enough. The life she deserved, built on honesty and integrity, awaited her. As she stepped forward, free from lies and manipulation, she realized that betrayal had hurt her deeply, but it had also taught her her true strength. Isla stood at the edge of a new chapter, the weight of betrayal slowly lifting from her shoulders. The pain had been deep, cutting through every corner of her heart, leaving scars that would take time to fade. Yet with every scar came clarity. She realized that the hurt she endured was not a measure of weakness, it was proof of her capacity to love, to trust, and to feel deeply. Looking back, Ayla could see how far she had come. The confusion, shock, and heartbreak had forged within her a strength she never knew she possessed. Betrayal had forced her to confront uncomfortable truths, to stand alone and to reclaim control over her life. Each step, each decision, each moment of calm courage had built her resilience. She understood now that her worth was never defined by someone else's deceit. Her peace, her dignity, and her self-respect were hers to claim, unshakable and unwavering. As she breathed in the quiet of her new beginning, Isla whispered to herself, a gentle reminder and a final truth. Sometimes the truth breaks you, so it can rebuild you stronger.